In this video, we predict what could happen starting chapter 991 of the One Piece manga. We are going to split this prediction video into two so that we can tackle every notable character in Wano. So, let's get right into it. Let's start a bit differently. Let's talk cover story. I'm just hoping to see Pound hold Pez so that the cover story gets a happy ending. Because I kind of feel for Pound thinking about everything he went through. He was supposed to be executed, he manned up against Oven, he got rejected quite a few times, Big Mom left him, all those things. Which is why I wanted to mention him in this video briefly. Moving forward, let's talk about the Tobi Roppo. Starting with the one that is probably trending recently, Drake. I still think that Drake has communicated all of the information that he got from Kaido's announcement and whatever it is that's going on in Wano right now to Kobe during the time that he went missing. I believe that it is very possible for the Marines to come to Wano and make a mess up there. Maybe even just the members of SHIELD, because technically Drake is not a Marine, and the last time we heard from Sakazuki was that he was holding off on sending any Marines to Wano since it was out of the jurisdiction because it was not a part of the world government.
Nope.
I know, I know. It could have changed Sakazuki's mind upon hearing about the Yonko alliance that could have been reported by Drake to Kobe, then Kobe to whoever was in charge of SHIELD, and whoever that was in charge of SHIELD reported it to someone associated with the Marine admirals or even Sakazuki himself. The Marines could be on their way to Wano right now. And speaking of which, Fujitora versus Luffy Part 2? Anyone? Any takers? Anyway, I'm sure that a lot of fans predicted that Drake would end up joining Luffy's side. We probably just didn't think that from how the story was being told that Hawkins would be the one exposing him to the Beast Pirates. I think that Drake would be a valuable ally in Wano. He accomplished the same result that Luffy achieved in his Gear 4th, which is knock out those failed ancient giants. So, that tells us that Drake leaving Kaido's crew and joining Luffy's side has significantly decreased the combat strength of Kaido's forces and increased Luffy's. I doubt that it would be enough to win the battle against Kaido and Big Mom, but he should be able to cause trouble for all the All-Stars and the other Tobi Roppos. I think that Drake is All-Star level himself, but it feels like he won't fight with Queen right away, if ever that he does end up fighting Queen. So, right now I see him helping Luffy and the other allies out in the activity hall. Queen will stick to what he said and figure this whole udon thing out. Then, here's the real kicker. No, not Sanji.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Who's who I think has real beef against Queen, will find the perfect time to strike and try to take Queen out, revealing himself at the best possible moment. I think that he's wary of Queen right now, knowing Queen is very calculating. He seems to be the strategist of the Beast Pirates, so I'm assuming he's going to figure out what happened more or less to Udon. And he might catch on pretty quickly, so if Who's Who tries anything shady, Who's Who might end up in a very bad situation. But moving forward, let's talk Hawkins. We saw him predicting a 1% chance of survival for somebody in Wano. It was implied that it could be Luffy, but obviously this could be other characters as well, like Law, whom Hawkins encountered earlier when Law was imprisoned. It could also be Kaido, right? Of all the characters there. It could even be Apu. We don't even know if what he said was true. I mean, he could have lied about it since he could be planning to betray Kaido, right? And knowing that he is in a room full of his enemies, he could have straight up lied. But he could also be predicting that Luffy has a 1% chance of surviving this whole war, which is obviously a good thing. Even though Luffy has been caught up in some serious shit before, his chances of surviving have never gone down to 0%. Which is weird because we all know that, right? And in my opinion, this doesn't build the situation up. So I feel like it could be a setup for something else. He could have been predicting the 1% survival rate for maybe himself. It would make sense if he was planning to do something that only a few people would have the balls to do, which is betray Kaido. Not a lot of people would even think about doing that, let alone do it. Now, I'm curious to know how it went down between Law and Hawkins. I really think that they cut a deal with Law because Law is pretty crafty himself. He could have talked Hawkins into a deal just like how he did with Smoker. He could have taken Hawkins's heart, used it as blackmail until this war is over. And it would be beneficial for Hawkins too, since he seems like he doesn't want anything to do with Kaido or his crew. He was just forced into that situation because of Apu's betrayal. He also seemed impressed with Luffy attacking Kaido before Luffy got one-shotted. So I believe that Hawkins will play a more important role later on when he decides to reveal that he is turning against Kaido. This is only speculation, so I'm very open to other possibilities that Hawkins could end up doing. Anyway, Page 1 and Ulti seem to be quite loyal from what we've seen from them. There is no ulterior motive that we know of yet. Almost nothing we could point to and say, yeah, they are going to betray Kaido. They may be captains of their own ships, but they sure don't seem like the type to betray Kaido as of right now. The only thing here is that, like most pirates that join Kaido's crew, they could have been tortured until they end up joining, right? Not much loyalty there, and they could decide to knock Queen up since he was obviously the one in charge of the tortures that happened in Udon. And to back that whole thing up, Ulti could also be just a truthful, tactless person, not the type that you could boss around unless you're Kaido, who is overwhelmingly strong. And the minute that the situation becomes super dire, they could get inspired by Luffy and join Luffy's side to finally turn the tides of the war and give the Alliance a winning chance.
Hello there.
It's easy to see this idea has a very long shot from happening, but it's possible. Now, let's talk Sasaki. Sasaki has been freed by Big Mom in a very improbable fashion. He was surprised by Big Mom's strength, and while I was reacting to the chapter, I actually said it was weird for Sasaki to be surprised, because I think that he could have fought Kaido and he should know to some extent what Kaido's combat abilities are. And it would be quite logical for him to think that if Kaido is that strong and he's considered a Yonko, then Big Mom could be comparable to Kaido's strength, right? Well, it has sunk in right now, and I believe that Oda was trying to restore Big Mom's reputation with this move, that Sasaki was impressed by her and her powers. I don't think it's going to be enough in the eyes of the community, but it is a start. Personally, I think that Big Mom might be the third strongest Yonko after Shanks and Kaido. Kaido being the strongest, followed by Shanks, Big Mom, and then Blackbeard. Obviously, this is just my opinion as of right now. We don't really know if Blackbeard has fought any of these prominent figures. He was scared to fight with Shanks in the Marineford War, but in my opinion, that was quite expected. But now, he should have become much stronger after the time skip, and he might be ready for an all-out war against other Yonko crews, or other Yonkos themselves. He should be used to the Gura Gura no Mi by now, and he could be the strongest out of the four Yonko as of this moment. But Until we see evidence, I'll hold on to the idea that he's number 4. Now, moving back to Sasaki, he said he was going after Denjiro, but judging from his expression, he seems too unconcerned by what had happened. And this got me thinking that he could be swayed by Denjiro because he did mention that he was great friends with him. So there's the respect there. Denjiro didn't really hurt him, but Kaido's crew could have. He could have been tortured by Queen, he could have beefed with someone in the crew, he could have fought King and held on to the resentment of losing and giving up his hopes of becoming whatever he wanted to become, that he ventured into becoming a pirate, right? So, if Denjiro plays his cards right, he could get another powerful ally onto their side. Sasaki has motive. My thought process here is quickly becoming a betrayal video for the Tobi Roppo members. But anyway, I just think that Sasaki has motive to betray Kaido too. Anyway, we also saw Black Maria in the chapter, though she was just looking and observing what's happening. I have no vibes of her betraying Kaido right now, but she can definitely have motive to do that as much as any other member of Kaido's Tobi Roppo. In my opinion, I think she has more of a chance of betraying Kaido compared to Ulti in page 1 because it's implied that she is running the geisha house in Onigashima. And just like how Drake is a spy for SHIELD, which could be associated with the Marines and not the world government, Black Maria could be associated with CP0 under Stussy. I'm not sure if this is the first time you're hearing this as a theory or as a whole, but that's a real possibility. I have had this idea for quite a while now, like 2 minutes upon writing down the talking points for Stussy. I mean Black Maria. So it's been that long. I have never seen anyone talk about it on social media, so let me know what you think about this idea. I really think it's possible considering Susie has not been discovered by Big Mom as an associate of the world government, possibly spying on her. I know that it's very unlikely, but it has a chance since the theme is there. Kaido is biologically male too, and he could have been seduced by Black Maria's very touchy and very sultry personality. So he could have overlooked suspecting her because men be stupid sometimes.
No.
You know? I'm speaking for a friend, not me. It wasn't me. What? Anyway, this wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Crush like if you did, as if you were Drake, being the lone force in Wano. Decided and committed. Now, comment down below what you think about Black Maria being another spy in Wano. Is it possible? Is it not? What are your thoughts about it? And if you love One Piece, subscribe to the channel so it could grow and I could continue to provide you with more One Piece content. Hit the notifications button too because on the next video, we will be talking about Carrot and Yamato. It's gonna be a 2-for-1 spotlight with Nakama talks and more. It's gonna be fun and I hope to see you in that conversation. So, stay safe now. Peace!